Okay, friend, before you jump down my throat for that title, like I already know that you are, listen to me really quick. First of all, this is part 2 of this video. So if you haven't seen part 1, I'm gonna link it up at the top and go watch that video and then come back and watch this video, okay? Okay, jumping right on into it. First of all, being nice and loving people and loving interacting with people is not a bad quality to have whenever you want to go into the healthcare field. Don't confuse me. It is a good quality to have, and you definitely should enjoy people and enjoy talking to people before you go into the healthcare field, because you're serving the community. That's literally what you're doing. So if you don't like talking to people, then it's kind of like, what are you doing it for? But what I will say is that some people use that as their sole basis on why they want to join the healthcare field. And let me tell you why that is not a good idea. I used to tell people the same thing. I used to tell people that I liked talking to people and I really enjoyed interacting with the community and I really wanted to serve the community in that way. But what my freshman year college self wasn't thinking about whenever I was telling people that was that this is not the complete essence of the job, right? Liking people and liking interacting with people is kind of like the bare minimum for going into the healthcare field. But the other part of that, the part that you get into after you get past, oh, I like people and I want to help people, is the fact that this isn't just some regular office job where you're going to be interacting with people and saying hello and having small talk conversation. This isn't like, oh, I bumped into somebody in the gas station and we were able to have really good conversation. This isn't that. This isn't, oh, I walked up to somebody in the mall and I just started a conversation and it was a really good convo, so, you know, I think I should go into the healthcare field. This is not that, okay? I feel like I'm an outgoing person. I feel like I'm a bit of an extrovert at times, but in the hospital and in the clinic, it's not the same type of situation. Some of these people are gonna be at their most vulnerable states. These are going to be sick people. They're going to be people who are going to code. You have to literally be there with them while they're at their lowest. And I think that's the part that people really need to start talking about more, because we talk about it as if it's like, oh, you know, you like to help people, so you'd be great at it. And it's really not that. Like, a lot of these interactions can get deep. They really can. They can get really deep really fast. And some of them can get really dark really fast. So I think instead of focusing on the fact that we are good at talking to people, we need to ask ourselves if we're good at vulnerability, if we're good at compassion, if we're good at empathy, if we're good at supporting someone while they're sad, if we're going to be good in a situation where we have to tell somebody that, you know, their loved one only has a couple of weeks to a month to live, because that is there and we can't pretend like that part of the job isn't there. If we're going to be good at compromising with people who don't want to use conventional medicine for religious reasons or ethical reasons, like, those are the situations that we need to put ourselves in, and those are the headspaces that we need to be in. I think a lot of people only talk about the happy-go-lucky side of it, and nobody really talks about the toll that it can take on your mental health. Healthcare worker burnout is real. If you're new here and you don't know, I am a master's in healthcare administration student, and I am literally working on a paper right now, reading peer-reviewed article after peer-reviewed article about nurse burnout, physician burnout, just healthcare worker burnout in general. So many healthcare workers get burnt out from this job, and I'm not saying that there are no positive parts of the job. Obviously there are. It's amazing whenever you get to help restore somebody's health. All I'm saying is, in any situation with any job, you cannot take the positive and not consider the negative too. These healthcare workers are on their feet 12 hours out of the day. Some physicians are working shifts that run past 12 hours. Like, there's a lot about the job that you just have to take into consideration before you do it. Because when we don't take these things into consideration and we tell ourselves to only think about the positive, and we go into it thinking, oh, because I like people, you know, it'll be fine, I'll be great, and then you go into it and it's not the experience that you thought it was, that's when you start to get healthcare workers who quit. And I think that was kind of the icing on the cake for me whenever I was deciding that I wasn't going to pursue PA anymore, because I love people. I do. I love people. I love interacting with people. I, you know, can spark up a conversation with pretty much anybody, like in the store or in the mall or whatever. I think I got that from my dad. But I'm not the best person to be there for somebody during their vulnerable states. And you know, empathy and compassion is something that I have been working on in my young adult life. But when I was in college, I was not empathetic at all. Or I'd say I was a little empathetic, but I was not as empathetic as I am today. Like, I was kind of one of those people back in college that, you know, whenever somebody started like crying in front of me, I really just didn't know what to do. I just sat there looking awkward because I just, you know, I didn't know what to do. Like, I just kind of like sat there and said it's gonna be okay, and you know, just the generic stuff. But when I was in college, I literally did not know how to deal with emotional situations. So now that I'm looking back on it, the fact that I, you know, thought that I should go into that is kind of just weird to me. But I realized it now, and it's okay. And I feel like it's okay if you are a person who, you know, thought that you wanted to go into this field, but then maybe you realized too that you weren't the best person to be in that situation. If maybe you thought that that was the profession for you, but now you're thinking like, oh, maybe this isn't something that I should go into. Honestly, I feel like having that much self-awareness is a flex. That's not something that you should feel bad about. Like, literally, people who have the ability to be self-aware and to make conscious choices based on their self-awareness, based on the fact that they know themselves and how they will react in situations, I feel like that is a really big flex, and you should not feel bad about that one bit. I also don't know if I'm the best person to be around a lot of heavy situations all the time. Like, I know I have an aunt who is a nurse, and I remember one day she said, while we were on the phone or something, she said that she had literally so many codes, like it was just code after code after code. And you know, whenever she said that, I was just like, gosh, I don't really know if that's something that I would be able to handle. I don't know if that's a situation that I want to put myself in. So after all these conversations and all these moments of self-discovery and all these periods where I just was really digging deep and trying to figure out who I was and who I wanted to be, I found out a lot about myself, and I feel like I'm very proud of myself for that. At the end of the day, all of us are here to serve a certain purpose on this earth. Sometimes we may let family or friends or social media or just any type of outside people make us feel like we should be doing a certain thing, when in all reality, we shouldn't be doing that certain thing. But the outside influences are so strong and they weigh on you so heavy that they can make you feel like they can really convince you that that is what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, they really can. I feel like I was a victim to that. So don't feel bad if you spent 5 years going towards something that now you realize that you don't want to do, because now that you've realized it, you can go ahead and make the switch and you can spend the next 5 years going after what you actually want. I didn't know if I was going to touch on this just because I know that this is probably going to be a very touchy subject for some people, but at the end of the day, I'm speaking my truth, and hopefully me speaking my truth will help somebody else who is trying to figure things out too. And don't get me wrong, I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to deter anybody from pursuing a career in the medical field. If you feel like this is your passion, if you feel like this is your thing and this is what you want to do, please do not let anybody deter you from that. One, you will know, because you will know based off of how much you think about it and how much effort you put into going towards that goal. But two, don't let anybody knock you off that path. If you feel like that is the purpose that God has for your life, then please follow that purpose. Because we need healthcare workers, we need nurses, we need doctors, we need PAs, we need everybody. We need everybody that works in allied health. Everybody plays a part in our healthcare system. So if that's something that you want to pursue and that's something that, you know, you feel like you want to spend the rest of your life doing, then friend, please do that. I'm getting on here and I'm telling my story. Hopefully my story will help empower you and make you confident in your own story. You know, feel free to comment down below. Tell me what your story is. Tell me what your thing is. Whether it be you thought you wanted the healthcare field and you're switching it up, or you are happily going into your healthcare career and you want to tell me about it, please let me know in the comments below. You know, I have been able to figure out, since I've been doing kind of like this self-discovery period, I really want to work for myself, and I really want to be an entrepreneur. I want to live in my creative space, and I want to make things both physical and digital that people can enjoy and that people can learn from, and things that make people happy. So, you know, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me down a comment down below and tell me what your situation is. Tell me if you like this video. And of course, if you like this video, you can go ahead and look on my channel. And if you like what you see, then subscribe, sis. I'll talk to you later, friend. Love you.